Live. What's going on, nerds around the world? Welcome to a special Nerding Plus One episode. We'll be covering trailers that came out the 2018 Comic Con. And to help me out with that, we have the usual crew. We have, of course, we know you love him, is Paul Inglis. Paul, what's going on, sir?
Good evening, nerds around the world. Yes, I definitely need this. It's been a very trying week, so I'm happy to be here and discuss the big news out of Comic Con.
Whether you're noticing this or not, or he probably is. Oh yeah, that's why I said he's occupied in the moment now. We're seeing right now is Colton Hunt. Colton, what's going on, man?
Hey everyone! Once again, I got my anti-Captain America shirt on, meaning more comic book stuff.
That's good. Represent. And we have here Geek from Geek Salad. It's Mike Gulick. Mike, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, and I'm wearing my Collider movie shirt in honor of the late John Schnepp.
Yes.
May he rest in peace.
Yes, John Schnepp. Movie pundit you see on Collider shows like Movie Talk, Collider Heroes, unfortunately passed on this weekend. He was a great representative of the culture. You know, he had wonderful, insightful, and infectious energy, and bringing to the shows. It was unfortunate that we lost him this weekend. I'm so shocked. It's unfortunate that he missed out on all this. I would like to see what he thought of Avengers 4. Yeah, it's still hard, but God rest him, and he will be missed. All right, getting into it, we will be covering 5 trailers that came out of the San Diego Comic-Con. This is mostly, not a lot of stuff came out of San Diego Comic-Con, but there's plenty to discuss. And then, Warren was pretty much won the weekend since DC was MIA this year, pretty much. But there were other things that were shown, and some things that were dropped during that event. And we will get into it. Mostly, we will cover the trailers that came out of that convention. And the first trailer we're going to discuss, me and Colton, is the trailer for season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, which is a prequel set 10 years before the original Star Trek series. From what we see in season 2, I think from the season 2 trailer, the USS Discovery is going to be meeting. At the end of season 1, we saw the crew of the USS Discovery meet up with the crew of the USS Enterprise. And we see in the trailer, Captain Christopher Pike will be boarding the vessel. He'll be taking command. He'll be taking command of the ship. Those who are not deep into Trek lore, Christopher Pike was the first captain of the Starship Enterprise we've seen. We haven't seen him, but he was the first in command of the vessel. And he goes back to the original on-air pilot, The Cage, which is a thrill for me. And he's going to be played by Anson Mount. That's who's on Hell on Wheels and was part of the cast of the ill-fated series Inhumans. Now, I know people had some concerns, complaints about season 1. It was very dark and it was very gritty, but I enjoyed season 1. I liked it. I liked it a whole lot. But it seems we're going to be getting lighter stuff this year. It's going to be a focus on exploration, stuff like that. I can't wait to see Anson Mount as Captain Pike. I can't wait to see Anson Mount as Captain Pike. It looks like we're going to delve into some actual exploration this year. There's a lot. Some people fault at the choice of the Lenny Kravitz song "I Want to Get Away" in the trailer, but I wasn't bothered by it. It was kind of all right, but all in all, this kind of feels like real Star Trek again. Like I said, I didn't hate season 1 of Star Trek Discovery, but I enjoyed it. I suppose it's a kind of a different feel of Trek, but it was insane. But I suppose suppose season 1 may be going back to that classic Trek feel. I'm actually a little more excited. Of course, Spock is name dropped, and we will be seeing Spock in this season, so I can't wait to see that. Colton, you saw the trailer. What were your thoughts?
Okay, so I did not see season 1 of Star Trek Discovery because It's available only through an online streaming service, which I think I said in a previous show I found to be a stupid idea, but whatever. Anyway, anyway, I still decided to watch the trailer just to see what it was about, and I was mixed on it. I feel like it's cool to see Pike again, and I felt like it has a good production value, and the cast looks like they're giving a good performance. But I do not like the fact that they are seemingly setting it up to be another one of those. It feels like something that you would see. It feels like what they showed in the trailers. It felt like something you would see in the movies. Like once again, it feels like the universe, or at least the galaxy, is at risk of being destroyed or something terrible. At least I really don't know what to think regarding that. It makes you sort of long for the days back in Next Generation or the original series where there was more exploration going on rather than trying to save something from being obliterated. I mean, I know they did that a lot in the original series, but you know what I'm getting at. It feels like there's been a lot of especially in the films recently, there's been a lot of saving civilization, world, yada yada, and they're doing it again in the movie. They're doing it again in Discovery. But hey, it might just be what they showed in the trailer. There might be more exploration to be had, and we'll just have to wait and see.
Okie dokie. Well, this is figure one particular trailer I want to go over. It was dropped at Comic-Con. Was the Titans TV show. Oh, buddy. Oh, goodness. I wish I had more hope for this, but I don't. It looks cheaply made. It looks unnecessarily dark and gritty. It looks like a total joke.
Fuck Batman, everyone.
Hey, watch your language. Yes. Did somebody say fuck Batman? Yes, I heard that. Yeah. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna be. I suppose, yeah. I suppose that's kind of a need to be edgy and cool. And I just found it cringe, basically. It's a horrible trailer. It looks like it's gonna be a horrible series, equally horrible series. It's gonna be a terrible. It's like it's gonna be unbearable to sit through, I guess. All right, Paul, you saw the trailer. What were your thoughts?
Fuck Batman, huh? Well, as the nostalgia critic so famously put it, fuck the show. And I'll give it, I'll probably give it a shot at some point just because Greg Berlanti is involved and I'm such an unapologetic Arrowverse fanboy. But I have no hope for this. I mean, it looks overly gritty. Robin looks like he's completely snapped. Beef Boy, he looks like he may be okay. I don't know how Hawk and Dove are gonna do in this. And what the fuck did they do to my ladies? What happened to my Starfire and Raven? They look absolutely horrendous. Raven is a total wimp. Have you seen how this? Raven is a badass. She's a calm bad. I know she's emo. She's got issues, but she is not a wimp like this. And then, don't get me started on how bad Starfire walks. I mean, the show is so bad. Talking. And then her energy beams. That looks like she's shooting fire out of her hands, not like light beam energy like I'm so used to. So yeah, it'll go hopeful.
It seems Paul's videos running into some issues. I don't know what's happening there. Hopefully he'll work. He'll work it, have something out eventually. Hopefully let's just hope he's able to correct some of the problems. but we were able to get some of his thoughts. I mean, he's like you said, it seems like he has very little faith that this show's gonna work. He's not alone, or maybe he isn't. I mean, well, he's not alone. Well, Mike.
I was really excited for this show, and then I saw the trailer. Not quite as excited anymore. I was hoping for more Young Justice and less Netflix Punisher.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly the expletive just seemed like it was thrown in there. Like, hey, yeah, let's throw it in there because we can. Like, I mean, I get, yeah, Robin, yeah, even in the comics, Robin got pissed and left Batman, but he became Nightwing. He didn't go swearing up a storm at villains when it seems it doesn't fit with the comics, to be honest. I mean, Punisher, that violence, that gratuity, it makes sense. Titans, that gratuity seems just out of place and excessive. And you know, all the blood. Yeah, I mean, Hawk and Dove going slashing people, you know, breaking people's necks. And dude, I'm still gonna check out the show because I think the DC Universe live streaming service it could have a lot of potential, and plus, dude, it's gonna have the entire run of Batman the Animated Series on there, and Young Justice, and Teen Titans, and all of the awesome animated movies they've made. So that in itself is worth it. But I don't know if I like the direction they're taking the Titans show. It seems excessive and overly angsty.
Yeah.
Although I don't mind making Raven into that little kid. I mean, if you think about it, you know, she's got a demon for a father. She's got all these powers that are starting to develop. She's going to be pretty messed up, and you know, it'll take her some time. So this is not the Raven that we first met in the comics. This is the Raven that before the comics, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, speaking of Batman the Animated Series, yes, Batman the Animated Series will be coming to Blu-ray for the first time. Can't wait to see that. Oh yes. I know this may be sacrilegious, but I'm a bigger fan of the Superman animated series, and I'm waiting for that to come on Blu-ray.
Hey, you know what? They're both really awesome. I still prefer the Batman one, but I got nothing against the Superman one. I love that one too.
Yeah.
My favorite Spider-Man the animated series.
That one sucks. I'm just kidding. It's all good, Colton. Yeah, all right, Colton. What did you think of this trailer?
Well, first off, regarding the whole fuck Batman thing, yeah, I get it. Robin and Batman having a brutal falling out is nothing new. I mean, in Batman: The New Animated Adventures, we got a scene where Dick straight up punches Batman when he quits being Robin after, you know, all their during one of their fallouts, and then in the 2003 Teen Titans series, during the episode where we found out how the team came together, Robin's first sequence involves him, you know, confronting a criminal, and he's like, "Hey, this isn't your city, or aren't you supposed to be?" And then Robin's like, "Just moved here, and from now on, I work alone." But here with the fuck Batman moment, yeah, like you said, it just like Mike or maybe you or whoever said, it felt like they just had him cursed just because they're on a streaming service and therefore they can get away with it. And it felt like also that it was the trailers we were trying to say, unless you didn't understand that this is a dark show, well, you will now. They're swearing in it. What's even worse, I think, is that that's the fact that that the guy's like, "Where's Batman?" Robin kills everybody, and then he's like, "By the way, fuck Batman." The funny thing speaking of which, I read that apparently a representative of the show had to clarify that Robin didn't kill those criminals, even though I'm pretty sure we saw him stab one of them in their necks, and we heard someone's neck getting snapped, and so it doesn't seem like those guys are alive, okay? It feels like a really bad way to backpedal on something like this. The bed's been made, you guys need to lie in it. So yeah. I will say that the stuff involving Raven, however, does have me kind of interested. It looks like she has looks like her backstory and whatever is going on with her and her powers will probably be the most interesting part of the show. I won't be able to watch it though because I don't do streaming services. But if it ever comes to Blu-ray, I'll give it a watch then. Perhaps if the price is not outrageous. As for Starfire, apparently the costume she's wearing in the pilot will be switched out for something less, I don't know, low rent cosplay later on. But what the hell is up with her wig? It looks, I mean, they're a streaming service. They can afford better than that. I mean, I've seen, like going back to cosplays again, I've seen cosplayers that have a better budget than this. What the hell? And Beast Boy, well, he's there. Not much that I can really say about him. I mean, we didn't see him transform or anything, so I can't comment on whether or not what his powers will be like. But yeah, it feels like everything involving Robin just feels like a way to really cater to the whole dark and gritty side of DC. I mean, this is the reason why Deadpool made these so dark. Are you sure you're not from the DC universe joke during Deadpool 2 when he was fighting Cable? Granted, the other trailers that we saw from DC recently have shown that DC is starting to part ways with this with that exclusively tone with that tone, but we'll get to those in a moment.
All right, nice analysis. Very nice analysis. Next trailer I want to cover is the Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald trailer. And this is, I mean, I really, really like this trailer. Some people are a bit on the fence about Johnny Depp in this movie. But I believe he can get himself back on track. I think because yes, Johnny Depp is a phenomenal talent, and definitely. It seems we're going to be delving more into Newt Scamander's time at Hogwarts. I like some of the callbacks to the Harry Potter series and so forth and so on. I mean, Jude Law, he looks like he's gonna be a fine Dumbledore. It just is like, yeah, I was kind of surprised at his casting. It's like Jude Law, interesting, but I can't wait to see what he's gonna bring to the character. Also, like I said, it has a lot more magic than it's a darker and a much more dangerous. It's darker, much more dangerous installment than the first. I mean, I like everything. It's just like, the imagination is kind of full on display here. It's just like, it looks really, really. I mean, despite it might be a darker story, it really looks much more colorful. And looks pretty. It looks pretty rad. It looks pretty cool. At least it's like. I mean, I know, like I said, some people are a bit iffy about Johnny Depp being in this movie, but I believe he could manage to turn in a great performance as Gellert Grindelwald, wizard that faced dumb. It was once his friends with Dumbledore that became sworn enemies, and so I can't wait to see how they're going to get into that. I mean, all in all, terrific trailer, and I'm anxious to see this movie a bit more than I did the first one. First one was pretty good, even though I felt the place kind of was flagging at times, But I can't wait to see it. Mike, what was your reaction to it?
Well, I was literally watching it as you were doing your introductions because I'd missed seeing it. I thought it looked interesting. I got no issue with Johnny Depp being in there. When Johnny Depp playing his creepy evil, he's genuinely creepy evil. When he plays creepy good, he's generally creepy evil. So, but yeah, so I don't have an issue with Johnny Depp being in there. I did see the first movie in theaters. I sort of liked it. I liked about half of it. I like the four main characters and their interactions together. So I'm hoping we get a lot more of that. Jude Law, I think, is a fantastic actor. So seeing him play a young Dumbledore should be really interesting. The trailer, it looks cool. It didn't get me more or less excited. I'll probably have to watch it a couple more times, but for now, I'll check it out. Sure, you know what? The trailer interested me enough that I'll go check it out in theaters, as long as it's got good reviews.
Okay, all right. It's a great take, Mike. On a great take. Colton, what was your reaction to it?
Well, on one hand, I'm much like the first Fantastic Beasts movie. I like how they're showing us a lot more of what the wizarding world is like outside of Hogwarts, and seeing more skilled and practiced magic from our heroes and whatnot. And I think Johnny Depp will do all right. I don't really have much of an opinion on it. I don't really have much of an opinion on him that much. I just think, hey, he looks like a good choice. So more, if he does a good job, then 2 thumbs up. And Jude Law as young Dumbledore, I have no idea what to think regarding that. I think it's the fact that just we're getting a young Dumbledore at all just feels weird because we've been so used to seeing him as an old guy. So it never really crossed my mind what he would have been like as a young man. So I guess we're gonna find out in this movie. So I hope he. I do like Jude Law though in the few movies I've seen him in. So I have some confidence in this choice. So we'll have to wait and see. The only part of the movie trailer that I'm iffy on is just, and the whole, which is kind of my main issue with the Fantastic Beasts series right now, is that the focus they put on Newt whatever his last name is.
Newt Scamander.
Yeah, thank you, Newt Scamander. While I liked him in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, he does not really come across as a main lead sort of character. He feels like the kind of person that would be the main lead for at best 2 films, but I think there's going to be maybe 5 in this series, and I can't imagine how he's going to keep, are they going to keep dragging him back into the conflict and all that jazz when he really doesn't seem to be really, and that it's not really, this really isn't his fight, so to speak. And admittedly, they do show Dumbledore personally trying to recruit him and everything, but again, this is only the 2nd film. I can't imagine what else Newt could contribute beyond this film. But hey, we'll find out if we've only seen him in action once, so maybe this movie will win me over to the idea of him being our leading man, I guess.
That's an interesting take. Very interesting. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, it delighted me. And it's just like, yeah, hopefully this comes out as another winner. Definitely. Next trailer I want to discuss is the Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer. Wow. Delightful. I mean, I wasn't really a big fan of the 2014 Godzilla. It was good. Not great. I felt the kind of pacing felt off at times. It kind of came as sluggish. I liked it. It was a very somber film too, in a certain extent. It had kind of, but it had an intensity about it, and it just had it certainly ripped you. It was harsh. It was pretty much harsh. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot, even though like I'm not a fan of it, not a big fan of it. It was enjoyable. However, whoa, buddy. I mean, I was just like, I was floored. The visuals are stunning. Cinematography is gorgeous. I mean, just the creature design is that sense of awe, and just gives that sense of awe and wondering. I was like, you haven't seen it. I was curious about this. I think now it has my attention. That was basically my response to the whole thing. So it's like, I was curious. Now it has my attention. You got me. You got me. And I was just like, So like I said, it was just, I suppose in the perfect world there would be another Godzilla trailer. I mean, it's just like, how do you follow? This is probably going to be another trailer at some point. But how do you top that? It's just it was so perfect. And then, yeah, it's just like it showed you what you wanted to see, but it didn't give too much away. It's just like, oh boy, this is definitely on my radar now. I just really want to see this. And I hope it delivers. Oh my goodness. All right, Mike, what was your reaction to it?
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I'm a fan of a lot of the original Japanese movies. The 2014 Gareth Edwards one, I really enjoyed that one as well. I understand the issues that a lot of people had with it, with the constant cutting away.
Yeah.
But it really didn't bother me. And seeing that fight at the end it was worth everything. So I really enjoyed that movie, and I was really looking forward to this one, and that trailer was gorgeous.
Yes.
I mean, beautiful is really the perfect word for it, because, I mean, just the visuals of, I mean, just when Mothra just opens his wings and you see that the water is flying off of it, that was just amazing to behold. And the shadowy image of King Ghidorah on there, that you see at the end, which that's all I really wanted. I just wanted that just slight glimpse of King Ghidorah, because that's the monster that I really want to see in action. But the shots of Godzilla were just fantastic, and Rodan just ripping those planes out of the sky and chucking them. That, and yeah, like I said, I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and I've heard mixed things on. People were kind of mixed about the music, that kind of that ethereal, more kind of almost lofty music. It wasn't your standard. I don't care. That music was perfect for the scenes that they were showing, for the tone that they were setting for this. I mean, there were shots of like a Washington D.C. in complete ruins.
Mm-hmm.
So this should be a really, really interesting movie. And the biggest issue that I'm going to have is seeing Millie Bobby Brown as something other than 11. Because she looks straight out of Stranger Things season 2 in that trailer, but hey, not a bad thing. It's just it's going to take some getting used to her as a different character.
Yeah, she's so synonymous with it. Yeah, I don't think she'll do any less great work here.
Yeah, I agree.
That's great. Yeah, I like your take on it. Like, solid take. Colton, what was your reaction?
Well, I enjoyed that trailer. I mean, the sense of scale we saw for all the monsters was just epic. You really do feel just the power whenever you see them, just from Godzilla breathing fire to, like Mike said, to Mothra spreading her head. What gender is Mothra supposed to be? Never mind. Seeing Mothra spreading its wings, to, of course, that image of King Ghidorah preparing to attack. I mean, I can't wait to see that battle. I think if I had any problem, though, with the trailer, it's just the fact that we had to, once again, focus on a group of human characters. And I'm like, we all know that the human characters are not going... I mean, they found a way to sort of work the human characters into the first one. But in this movie, I'm like, what could a bunch of humans do in a Godzilla movie with, like, at least 3 other monsters? It looks like the Earth is going to be a smoldering pile of ash by the time they're finished with it. It's like the humans might as well... you gonna say something, Mike?
Well, I think it's like purely for both to associate us with the movie, get us, be our window into the movie, and also purely for budgetary reason. Because if you have these guys the monsters look a lot better than the rubber suits than they did in the original movies. So you couldn't have an entire movie with just the monster, because that would be hideously expensive.
I paid it. Well, that's true, but hey, I paid money just to see a half hour battle between all these monsters on the big screen. And what do you know? Washington D.C. gets destroyed. It can not catch a break, can it? But yeah, it has my attention for sure. I'm looking forward to this monster mash and whatnot. And meanwhile, we got Vera Farmiga's character saying that these monsters must be awoken because reasons, which is probably just the reason why the world is going to get destroyed. So thanks a lot, Vera. You need to stick to being a ghost exerciser of the Conjuring franchise. I like you in that.
All right. Okay, all right. The next trailer we'll be covering is the Shazam trailer. Oh, I love this trailer. It was charming. It was delightful. It was energetic. It was exciting. Zachary Levi. It looks like to be an inspired choice to play Shazam. Just is like, oh my goodness. It's just like the spontaneity of it, the humor, everything into that trailer. It just clicked. Yeah, it's like the DCEU, DC Extended Universe, or should I say the worlds of DC, hasn't really been clicking with me. Yeah, I don't like much difference. I mean, so I don't they haven't really translated DC's characters very well. But this looks like it's going to be an entirely delightful film. It's all right. Oh my goodness. Some of the moments just made me just roar out loud. It's just almost jump out my seat, especially in the moment when they're at the convenience store. It's just like, it looks like he's trying to stop the robbers. It's like, oh, and the shooter's like, oh, poof, you're dead. I almost fell on my chair in that moment. Oh my goodness! This is like the chemistry between the this is like the kid actors, just like between the actors, the kid. It's just everything. It's just everything's just like it puts a big grin on your face basically the whole time. It's just like this film, yeah, this has caught my attention now. I hope it's going to be. I hope it's going to deliver. I hope it's going to be fantastic. All right, Mike. What was your thoughts on this trailer? What you think?
This trailer surprised me in all the best ways. This is actually my favorite trailer from the ones released at Comic-Con. I mean, I was interested in Shazam. I just didn't know how they were going to handle it. I mean, I know all about Shazam. I've never really been the biggest fans of his comics. I never really read them, got in depth with them. Yeah. But this trailer was fun beyond all measure. It's weird too because the first half of it, up until he gets on the subway, it's the trailer has one tone, and then it does complete shift, and then becomes this superhero comedy after that. And I thought it was fantastic. I mean, people have been describing us as Big, the Tom Hanks movie Big with superpowers. And I reiterate that, but in all the best ways possible. I mean, you needed an actor that could play an adult version of an 18-year-old, or not an 18-year-old. It looks like about 14 or 15-year-old. Yeah. And I mean, what Tom Hanks did in 1988, you got Zachary Levi, and he was the perfect pick for that because he can embody that youth. Like, dude, I'm 18 years old. I'm 14 years old, but I'm an adult body and I have superpowers. That's awesome. I don't know if he's actually 14. That's how he looked.
His actor is 15.
Oh, okay. So he's probably about 14 or 15 in the character anyway. But yeah, I mean, dude, like when he says when he's laughing because he's bulletproof, that you're dead, and it just shuts him like, yeah, sorry for the window, but you're welcome for not being robbed. It's like, hey, look, I'm a superhero. That's exactly when I was like 13, 14, and if I got superpowers, that's exactly how I'd be acting. So that was spot on. I can't wait to see this trailer. Has taken me from like a 4 or a 5 in excitement to an 8 or a 9. I mean, this is exactly what this movie needed, and I cannot wait for this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, my goodness. This is I'm still getting out about it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Looks super awesome. All right, Colton, what was your thoughts on the trailer?
This trailer, like, it caught me by surprise. I I had no, as a person that knows jack squat about Shazam, outside of like his couple of appearances he made in the Justice League cartoon and in Mortal Kombat versus DC, I knew very little about him. But this trailer, it really won me over. Like you guys said, Zachary Levi does a good job playing a kid, playing an adult with the mind of a child and all that jazz. And I loved how it seems that they're having fun with certain superhero conventions. Like when the character gets his powers, has to figure out how to use them. And so we see Billy and his foster brother testing it out. It's like, so can you fly? And then he's like, I don't know. So he like tries to fly, and then he crashes back down, and then his brother's like dumbing it all. And then the moment we find out he's bulletproof, that was just hilarious. It's like I said, I am really glad that the DC EU or World of DC or whatever they're calling themselves, I like that they're trying to lighten up a bit more, but not just lighten up. I also like how this movie it appears like they're scaling back down on the stakes, because I think we're up to 7 movies in the DCEU, including Aquaman and Shazam. And of those movies, we've had
5 movies so far.
We had 4 of those 7 movies that they have been about the world nearly getting destroyed. And like, I have no problem with that, but I mean, 7 movies and over almost half of them are about the world, trying to keep the world from getting destroyed. I mean, I might also add Wonder Woman. I could add Wonder Woman to that, except World War wouldn't exactly destroy Earth, but it was still a global conflict, so close enough. Okay, we've had 5 movies about trying to save something major, so I like how it looks like this movie is sort of scaling back, telling a smaller, more personal story. There'll probably be something big thrown in, and no pun intended, thrown in as regarding antagonists, but I don't know yet because I haven't been reading that much about this movie. But yeah, I also liked how they sort of had a jab at the DCEU's typical dark format where the kid says, none of these people seem like they're nice, but it gets really Game of Thrones around here. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, what is it? You're thinking, oh man, why are you so dark? It's nice that they can have a good laugh at themselves and whatnot. So I'm definitely looking forward to this film, and it's nice to, especially when we don't have a lot of straight up comedies in the superhero genre outside of parodies and all that jazz. So it's cool that this is being a comedy without sort of being a parody or whatever. I think that's something nice that this franchise could use. So I'm looking forward to what we get. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that they don't disappoint.
Definitely. All right. Okay, and the last trailer we're going to discuss is the Aquaman trailer. Now, this looks like a decent trailer. I'm not going to shit on it. I did have a couple of problems, The dialogue seemed kind of clunky, I don't know. It's just like, I'm not sure about what to make of Amber Heard's performance. I mean, it's only a trailer, and people are jokingly calling it Black Panther Under the Sea or something like that. It's like I don't know. It's just like I'm not sure what to make of that. I would admit there are parallels. I mean, the characters do have parallels. They're supposed to be kings, basically. As I was saying, Jason Momoa, I like him as Aquaman. He was like, I liked him. I like his portrayal in Justice League. It's like he's doing delivers some great work here. I mean, the effects look awesome, phenomenal. But like I said, it's just like the dialogue, and I think some of the cast, some of the performances maybe a bit wooden, just a bit, I don't know. The acting seems kind of lousy. I don't know. It's just I don't know what to make of it. But I'm curious. I'm curious about the movie. I mean, the trailer looks decent. Like I said, I had some problems with it, but I'm curious. Like I said, DC Extended Universe, World's DC has the movies haven't been really clicking with me, but I'm curious about this movie. I mean, we're definitely curious about it. Definitely curious. Okay, Michael, what was your thoughts on this trailer?
Well, first off, I'm personally calling it the DCFU, the DC Film Universe. That was coined by Mr. Schnepp, so I think if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. This trailer was interesting. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, this is good. It was entertaining, but it didn't wow me. But the
Yeah.
more I watched it, the more I really enjoyed it. I still don't like it as much as the Shazam one. The person, the final tag, when they jump out of the airplane, I
Right.
think that I think the trailer would have been stronger if they left that off, if they just ended it with the Aquaman, title. But beyond that, I actually really enjoy the trailer. I think it's really showing this, how I think it's taking place before Justice League. I don't know. The timeline I think needs to be clarified a little bit more, but I'm sure that'll be clarified in the movie. But yeah, I mean, I really like Jason Momoa. I thought he was fantastic in Justice League. I like Justice League more than a lot of people seem to do. And I thought he was one of the standouts. I think the whole setting underwater, I think it looks gorgeous. And the sea, I mean, just the quick shots of the trench, those like black, like clods, fishy creatures just swarming up and chasing after that red thing. Those, I think, those just look fantastic. And that looks spot on for James Wan. That looks straight up horror. And I think that's where he's really going to shine. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this trailer, it grew on me the more I watched it. So I'm really looking forward to this. I can't wait to see this one.
Okay, all right, Mike. All right, Colton, what were your thoughts on this trailer?
Well, first off, I love the shots of Atlantis. It looks like it might be probably one of the most creative fictional lands we've seen in a comic book movie in a while. It feels like the scale is perfectly illustrated through the effects and whatnot. And I liked, I like Jason Momoa, but I'm a tad mixed on him right now in this trailer. I liked him in Justice League, but I also feel like I think he might be taking his performance a little too seriously with it. Some of his one-liners probably would have been funnier if he wasn't being so out when he was like, "That's the worst pep talk ever." It was a funny line, but it was also felt like he could have been a little bit more, I don't know, look a little less angry or something, Jason. Okay, I mean you're playing the King of the Sea in a comic book movie where your main power is that people think that all you know is that you talk to fish or whatever. But so I don't know, try to have a little bit of fun with it, man. But it looks like he is going to have fun with it, though. I mean,
I should probably had a choke in the trail say his mentors are probably Mermaid Man, Barker or something like that.
It does think he will be sort of
his friends growing up were Marlin the Clownfish or Bruce the Shark. I mean,
yeah. It does look like he'll be lightening up a bit, though. Like the last joke in the trailer where we saw him, him and Mira jumping out of that plane together. And I have to wonder, why are the main characters in a movie about Atlantis jumping out of a plane into a desert? But it does look like this movie has, despite what I said earlier about the DCEU being almost always exclusively about stopping the world from getting destroyed or something else, I do kind of like the scale that this trailer showed with them trying to stop Aquaman's evil half brother from declaring war on the surface world.
Oh yeah.
Though I did find the shots where Black Manta showed up to be kind of random. It's like, oh, by the way, Aquaman's archenemy is in this movie also. Right?
Power Rangers villain.
His costume looks cool, but I'm wondering, why is he here? I don't even understand how he could possibly be a threat to Aquaman. I mean, again, I am not an Aquaman expert. I know nothing about the comics, so maybe there is an explanation for how Black Manta can be a match for Aquaman. But as it stands, it feels like it's just a human at peak physical condition going up against a god. So kind of like Batman v Superman all over again. So I'm like, how can he be a threat to Aquaman?
Peak physical condition with laser eyes. All right. Never forget that laser eyes. Those are very, very useful.
Those laser eyes were pretty damn cool to see. I'll admit that. And despite some of my reservations, though, I am going to definitely see this in theaters. Well, mainly because it's these cinematic universe films operate on cinematic blackmail, where it is if you skip one film, good luck understanding what happens in the next one. So yeah, but even if there wasn't that blackmail associated, I do want to see this movie because, as I mentioned in our last show, I like how I want to see how the competition is faring against the MCU because they need someone to keep them on their toes, and it looks like DC is finally sort of figuring out how to do the universe thing properly and whatnot without coming at the expense of their stories. So I'm definitely gonna cross my fingers. I'm hoping for the best for this one.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, cool. All right, cool. Okay, that was it for our show. Thank you so much for joining us, Paul. Of course, as you know, Paul couldn't. Paul wasn't here for the rest of the show. He's not here, but he had some technical issues, so he couldn't be here for the rest of the show. Hopefully, he'll be with us on Saturday for the next show. But I would like to thank the people for joining me. Mike, it was a pleasure having you here.
Oh, always a pleasure. Can't wait to talk about more geeky stuff with you guys.
All right, definitely. Colton, it's a pleasure having you here.
It's great to be here too. I sadly won't be able to make next week's show because I gotta work. But I'll hopefully be here for the show after that or something like that. We'll see.
Definitely, we hope we'll see you then. And so I say next week we'll be coming back on our regular time. We don't know, but yeah, we'll be back on Saturday. We thank you so much for joining us. It's great talking about all these trailers that came out at Comic-Con. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, goodbye.